Hi, everyone. This is Ivonne Emil Elizondo from Silver Moon Astrology. And bienvenidos a Silver Moon Astrología y Consultas. It is that time again. It is the full moon in Aries on October 6th at 10:47 p.m. Central Standard Time. So let's chat about it. Let's take a look at what this energy is going to be like. I like this full moon. I think it's pretty dynamic. It's pretty intense too, but I want to be positive about this and really want to focus on the more benefic part of this full moon. So yeah. Okay. Before we get started, whoopsie, before we get started, I just want to do a little check-in to see how everyone's doing since we're moving away from this eclipse season that we had, where we had the lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 7th of September. And then 2 weeks later, we had this partial solar eclipse in Virgo on the 21st. And so as anything, eclipses always tend to bring discombobulation, changes, unexpected changes. They like to, create, turmoil, could be earthquake energy, basically is, what I'm looking at. I don't know about you all, but I have seen this eclipse energy like just shake things up for a lot of people. It's not so much shaken. Don't jinx me, okay? It hasn't so much been shaking things up for me necessarily, except for one area of my life. And it is the house of self-expression. Yes. So I have Virgo in the fifth house. And the solar eclipse that happened on the 21st was in conjunction to the degree, okay, of my natal Pluto. Pluto's intensity, right? It's like, okay. So the sun over my Pluto, okay, I was like, I usually don't say a lot. I usually don't share my opinions a lot. I usually just keep them to myself because I learned from a very young age that Capricorn energy can be very judgmental and people don't always like that. So I learned to just kind of not say anything. Oh, no, 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 no. This eclipse has opened that up for me. It's activated the fifth house of self-expression, amongst other things, in my chart. And so I have been very vocal since, this eclipse energy started about a lot of things. The lunar eclipse happened conjunct my natal Mars in Pisces. Mars in Pisces is like a spiritual warrior, okay? It's like the we're going to tell you like it is. We're going to usually do it gently, okay? But we're still going to tell you like it is. So, yes, I've actually been enjoying this. Anyhow, let's get started. So, why are we here? Yes, the Aries full moon that is happening. I already said when it's happening. So, let's take a look at the chart as usual. And I think this is a pretty dynamic moon. I won't be able to cover all of the astrology of the moon per se, because if I did, I would be here for quite a long time. And I want to make this video, informative, but not overly lengthy. So here we go. Here is Luna at 14 degrees and 8 minutes in Aries. Okay. And on the opposite end, in opposition, we have the sun at 14 degrees, 8 minutes in Libra. So if you can see, there's a lot going on. We have Venus, okay, who belongs to Libra. She rules Libra in opposition, direct opposition to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. All right. We have Mercury that just stepped into, what is it? Scorpio. Oh my God, I didn't think of it. Scorpio, and there's opposing, excuse me, it's square Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So there's a lot going on. Okay, there really is a lot going on, but I really just want to stick to the concepts for the full moon in Aries. All right, so let's start this off. As usual, I'm going to start this off by just reiterating what the full moon symbolically means. Okay. So the full moon is it's when, the light of Luna is in its full glory, right? It's the full moon is a reflection of the sun. So we wouldn't have a full moon uh without the sun, obviously, right? So we need the sun to have a full moon. All right. So what does this mean, Yvonne? Yes. This I think the full moons are a great time for self-reflection. Now, you might say, well, Yvonne, you told us that, I don't know, the new moon is a great time for self-reflection because it's a great time to go within. Yes, I still stand by what I say. However, I feel that the full moon is also a time for self-reflection because we want to self-reflect on the external. Yes. So new moons are internal self-reflection, and the new moon is, excuse me, the full moon is a opportunity for you to reflect on the external experience that you're having, right? It's like being able to walk down the path at night during the full moon. You have clarity. You can see if there are rocks on, your path, so you can avoid them, right? And not twist your ankle like I always do. Yes. During a new moon, you can't see the rocks. You end up twisting your ankle. Yes. Personal experience, obviously. Okay. So here we go. So the full moon is a great time to have insight about our external, participation in, our life and in relationship to other people, which is a perfect segue to what this Aries full moon, in my opinion, the vibe of this full moon is going to be. So, whew, that was a lot. Basically, let's talk about Aries energy and Libra energy. Okay, so Aries energy is fire. It's creation. It is the original point of self-expression. All right, it wants to be seen. If you have any Aries energy people in your life, you know that they are about themselves. Okay, and sometimes they can come across as selfish, self-centered, right? But it really is about them. Okay, they will do things without letting you know. They'll say things impulsively. They'll just have this force of fire that goes out into the world and just is like, okay, and there you go. You didn't tell me about this, but sure, okay. Um, but Aries energy is also playful. And it can also be very creative and it can be very childlike, right? Because it is the very first sign of the zodiac. And so there's this origination of creation that happens with Aries energy. So the mantra for Aries is I am. I am in this world. I am coming to experience this world. All right. So the moon in Aries, the moon represents the instinctual part of our nature, right? It's our emotional default response. It represents the collective, and it can represent, boy, it could represent the body as well. Okay. But because this is a very general reading, right? Because I don't have all of your individual charts. Well, I do some of you, but what I'm saying is that this is a more collective reading, right? So if you want to know how this energy impacts your chart, we'll talk about it. Okay. Aries energy, because it's a very creative force, it wants to be seen, it wants to go out into the world and act, okay, create, engage. Yeah. On the opposite end, because for me, astrology is all about polarities and finding the balance between those two polarities, okay? On the opposite end, on the opposition, we have the sun in Libra, right? And Libra is an air sign, okay? And it represents more of the mental quality, right? There's more of this mental engagement. But Libra is a harmonizing energy. It wants to be in balance. It's looking for a state of balance. Okay. That's why it really connects with the themes of like social justice, fairness, equality, right? But it also has this presence of having a really need for a sense of aesthetic identity, okay, and a ability to be in partnership, right? So where Aries energy is all about the self, it's all about the individual. The Libra energy is about the partnership and the harmonizing and the beauty that comes from, experiencing life in relationship to other people. So this full moon for me is very much tied into, the foundations that represent our sense of identity and how we integrate that into our relationships. So, what does that mean? Well, that means that this would be a great time to like really reflect on how you function within relationships. Okay. And relationships could be familiar. They could be professional. They could be friendships. They can be intimate. They can be marriages. They can be with your neighbors, whatever it is. It's how your sense of identity is pretty much showing up through and within relationships. All right. So I look at people, like I look at couples that have been married like 20, 30, 40 years, and I'm like, how do you guys do that? Because in my life instructional manual, yeah, it's like that part. that page was taken out of my manual because I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I'm Capricorn. I'm fine being by myself. I don't know how you guys are married for like 40 years. I think I would like, I don't know, be upset that you were breathing every day if I had to live with someone every single day for 40 years, right? But some people do it really well. And it's the integration of your sense of identity, of your sense of self, and how that is incorporated into the relationship itself. Okay. All right. So that's the psycho-spiritual, energy, the vibe. On a more mundane level, all right, I think this is a great moon to be creative and have fun and just go out and enjoy. Now, it would be great if it was that easy, but because we've got some Venus opposing Saturn retrograde and we've got, some other stuff going on, this energy may feel more of creating stability, okay, or creating a structure, all right, creating something that is going to be aesthetically foundational for the future. So what does that mean? Okay, this would be something like, hey, I think I want to paint the walls of my house like a red. Awesome. You go tell your partner, hey, I want to paint the walls, in the living room red. And your partner says, red, honey? Red is like fire, it's anger. And then you say something like, no, but it's also passion and energizing and engaging. And so now you have the sense of self, what you want in relationship to your partnership, and you start to negotiate, right? And at the end of the day, the two of you say, well, instead of painting them, we're going to negotiate. Instead of painting it red, why don't we choose this lovely, like maroon color because it's autumn and we have this vibe of just getting into that, fall season. Awesome. And then the two of you go down to, I don't know, the store. I'm trying to think of a store that would sell paint, like, I don't know, Sherman Williams. This is not a paid advertisement. I don't know, what's the other one? Lowe's, and the other big one, I can't, you know what I'm talking about. You buy the paint, you come back and you start having fun, and then you start painting, and then you start realizing, wow, this is really cool. This is the idea of this full moon, right? This is a perfect example of how you are integrating what you need, and, really working it in your sense of, identity within your relationship, but it's also you're creating something, you're having fun. And that's what this moon feels like. Okay. Fun is it's structured playtime. That's what my doggy trainer, Azul, isn't here. Did you notice? Anybody notice? He's not here. Where is he? He has a doggy daycare. Yes. And so the doggy daycare said, we are giving Azul structured playtime. That's what this full moon is about. Structured playtime. Let's have some fun. All right. Some crystals to work with. Carnelian, super energizing, amazing, engaging energy. Red jasper. You could also use herbs like cinnamon, hot peppers. Be careful, don't touch your eyes after that. Peppermint has also this wonderful fire energy to it. What can we do during the full moon? Moon water is great. Now, this moon water, I'm sorry. I keep going between Spanish and English in my head, right? Like I've been reading a lot of Spanish books. I'm working with quite a few, Spanish clients. I talk to my daughter in Spanish, so my brain is like Spanish and my words are like stuck. But moon water, okay? Moon water is great. I think this one's going to be really good because the energy of this Aries full moon is engaging, energizing, and fun. So if you bottle it up, okay, and charge it, uh, whenever you need a little extra oomph, okay, in your life, just a little bit, sip it, energy goes in, you got magic woo woo. Okay, there we go. What else can you do? There's some people, this is really cool. I would love to do this, okay, at some point. I've never tried this. And if you have, please let me know. But something to do during this full moon would be like, hey, calling your friends up, Libra energy, right? Working in relationship with people. Hey, I've got some coloring books. Okay, that'll be fun. I've got some crayons. crayons. That sounded cheap or childish, whichever. I've got some colored pencils. Yeah. Hey, you want to come over? Let's have some wine and we can paint and color and we can just chit chat. That would be the ideal, okay, fun exercise that would encompass the energy of Aries and Libra, having fun, integrating in relationships. All right. So there you go. I hope everybody's going to be coloring. Everybody's just going to be taking out their coloring books and coloring on this full moon. Okay. What else can you do? Charge your crystals. Okay. Yeah. Great time to charge your crystals because Aries energy is, reflective of beginnings. Cleansing, fire energy is very cleansing. And I'm trying to think of what else we could do. Burning. Yes, we witches love to burn stuff. Papers, mostly papers. Yes. I don't want anybody getting themselves in trouble because they're burning stuff they're not supposed to be burning, like a house. Don't do that. Okay. Cancel, cancel, delete, delete. Don't even think about it, universe. So, what can we do? Right? Get creative. All right. If you just want to write down, okay, what it is that you want to accomplish. Okay. This isn't necessarily an intention setting. This is an intention energizing activity, right? So let's say, for example, you plan on, you know, painting your wall. Okay. What do you need? Paint. Okay. Awesome. Roll your paper up, put it in a cauldron, light it on fire. You're asking the universe to bring you the right, paint into your life. All right. Something like that. Okay. But burning, and in all seriousness now, like, this is a great time to take those wounds. Okay. And man, I shifted gears quickly, didn't I? Yeah. You're whiplash with me. Absolutely. Yes, you can take the wounds and maybe the part of you that's like, okay, I'm kind of done with this phase of my life. I'm kind of done with this baggage. I want to start fresh. I want to start new. Okay, this Aries moon is a great time to do that. Okay, so writing things down that you really don't need anymore in your life, and then burning them, putting them into the cauldron, letting the universe take take that energy away from you. We can do that during this full moon. All right, everyone. That is it. I feel very childlike today, actually. I think the full moon is starting to like kick in, and I gotta go because my brother is calling me and I want to talk to him. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can find me at silvermooncounseling.org or at info@silvermooncounseling.org. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Have fun, everyone, and take care and blessed be. Y nos vemos en la próxima. See ya. Bye.